Hello, everyone. I am very excited, but in a very odd way. I can't really explain why. I don't know if excited would be the best word. Excited is just a feeling I get when I get to work with you guys and I get to talk to you guys and work on different things. I'm going to move my camera up a little bit. Um, but just because I really love the things that we do and the things that we work on as a class and how we um, can deal with things together. So, today's lesson is something that I think we as a class have, both geologists and archaeologists, have really started thinking about and really appreciated in our classroom. But now, that we have moved on to distance learning, it's not at the forefront. It's not what we're thinking about all the time. But last week, Miss Meredith from Art Corps helped us do a lesson called Who Am I? Where those of you who did it, which I'm so appreciative of, made a project or wrote it down of who you are. What are some things that identify you as who you are and how, like, what makes up your life, whether that's your ethnicity, whether that's your religion, whether that's just something you're interested in, a hobby. We all have these amazing identities. This week, we're moving on because as we look around the world and look at the different things happening in our world, it's very clear that there are people that are different than us. And I'll be honest, not all adults know how to handle that. And what I really think is that you, as students, can really start to learn how to appreciate that and really change the world knowing how important this kind of stuff is. So stick with me. We're going to do a very quick talk lesson, go over a few things, and then I'm going to give you an assignment, but the assignment is going to be pretty open ended. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're talking about diversity. And I want to start with a quote by a gentleman named Cesar Chavez, who is a very active, a strong activist in the Hispanic community, as well as just in the United States. And his quote said, "We need to help students and parents cherish and preserve the ethnic and cultural diversity that nourishes and strengthens this community and this nation." Cesar Chavez. Necesitamos ayudar a los estudiantes y a los padres a apreciar y preservar la diversidad étnica y cultural que nutre y fortalece a esta comunidad y a esta nación. Cesar Chavez. We all have a special person. We are each special people and have something special about us. But when we all come together, we are what we would say is a diverse group. A little bit lower here, we have our learning target, and today we are learning about diversity, empathy, and respect for others. And we will do this by learning what diversity is through stories and creating art to show what diversity means. So, some of the vocabulary. First of all, we have diversity, which is this just differences. Our classroom has so much diversity in it. Diversity of religions, diversity of genders, diversity of ethnicities, of cultures, of languages. We have a rich amount of diversity in our classroom, which, in my opinion, puts us in such a fortunate place. Because if you can understand diversity and be with people that are different than you grow so much as a person. Another word we're going to look at today is empathy, which is the ability to understand how someone is feeling or to understand the situation they are in. Empathy is not just saying, "Oh, I feel sorry for you," but really thinking in your head, what are they going through? What is happening that it's so hard for them? We have the word respect, treating someone how you would want to be treated. Because no matter your culture, your religion, your ethnicity, one thing that it all comes down to is we are all human beings, every single one of us, no matter our religion, our ethnicity, our culture, our gender, any disabilities we have, we all deserve respect. And finally, understanding. And understanding is to make sense of something. So when we're understanding something, we get it. It makes sense to us. It's a little interesting because I would almost say understanding is almost another way of saying empathy, but empathy is really feeling it. So there is a group called Black Lives Matter that has a lot of information for kids, and they have some specific things that they have to try and help students of all ages understand why these things are so important. So, got a little bit low here. I found this beautiful poster, and it says diversity, and you can see that all the people on this poster have different looks, have different parts of them, have a different identity. And for this one, different people do different things and have different feelings. It's so important that we have a lot of different kinds of people in our community and that everyone feels safe. That doesn't say one person, one gender is the most important. One culture is the most important. It doesn't say one ethnicity. It says different people do different things. And it's so important that we have lots of different kinds of people in our community. And most importantly, and I'd say one of the biggest things that we really want to make sure is this last line where it says, and that everyone feels safe. And that is part of why we're really studying and looking at these kind of things today and next week, and some Spanish resources from Senora Barralobre, is because we know that not everyone always is feeling safe. And we need to be allies and we need to be strong people to help everyone feel safe. The next poster that I found, I'm going to actually come back to this one. Well, no, actually, I'm going to. It's something called collective value. And it very much connects with diversity because it says everybody is important and has the right to be safe and happy, no matter what they believe, where they are from, or who they love. That is collective value. And that is something that is very important to all of us. It should be one of the most important things because, like in our diversity definition up here, it's so important that we have lots of different kind of people. People do different things. People have different feelings and bring different things to the table. I've seen it every day in the archaeologists and the geologists, is that different people have brought amazing different things to our classroom. Now, one thing I really want us to be thinking of is with diversity, with collective value, is our vocabulary word, empathy. It is so important to think about how other people feel because different people have different feelings. Sometimes it helps you to think about how you would feel if the same thing happened to your friend that happened to you. Another way to say that is empathy. While some of us have been very fortunate to never have anything negative happen to us because we are different, some of us have. And some of us have family members and friends who have. This world is an imperfect place, and not everyone is treated always equally and feels safe, and not everyone has the collective value that we know everyone should have. So it is our job as people to be allies and to stand up when we don't see something right happening. We talked about it a lot earlier in school when we talked about bullying. We talked about not being a bystander and watching something happen. Well, we have to do the same thing with diversity. We can't be a bystander and watch things that are unfair, things that make people feel unsafe, people that make people feel like they don't belong here. We cannot stand by and let that happen. So for this week, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you create an art project of some kind. And with everything going on right now and different resources and different things going on, I know that not everyone has the same resources and not everyone's feeling the same way. Maybe right now to you, diversity is hurting your heart because you see a lot of negative things happen to your family because they are diverse. Maybe you're finding that a lot of things are a challenge because of your guys' differences and you don't feel empathy. And if you're feeling that way, I encourage you to put it in art. And maybe if you're just thinking of the positive feelings that come with it, put it in art. But I want this art project to be something that represents you and who you are and your feelings at this moment and has your voice. So, the main thing I'm going to say is you're going to make an art project and it's going to be centered around the word diversity. Diversity. Could be in Spanish or English because I also put it up. Ooh, scroll it up here. Up here, diversidad. Spanish or English. But what I really want you to do is create an art project that shows what you feel when you think of the word diversity. What do you feel? So my project it's kind of hard and I have a very small screen. But diversity, I wrote the word diversity, and then I wrote a heart in the middle. And then after that, I wrote a rainbow behind it, but not just a general rainbow with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, but I also added colors like black and browns and yellows and peaches because I think diversity represents so many different people in so many different ways. I used colored pencils and written word. I'm encouraging you to use watercolors, to use paints, to use crayons, to use chalk, to use pencil, to use something on the computer. All I'm asking is in some way, try and see if you can share it with me or at least share your thoughts. I really hope that I see a lot of people do this because I think more important than math, more important than reading, more important than science, more important than anything right now, is that we really think about who we are as people with so many things happening in the world right now. Understanding who we are as people and what's important to us is one of the best things we can do to develop ourselves as human beings. So, as I said, think of the word diversity, make a painting, make a drawing. It doesn't have to be happy. If when you think of the word diversity, happy thoughts don't come in your head, that's okay. But just take this time to make something that represents your feelings with this right now. Enjoy this project, think of it, just be thoughtful about it. And I really enjoy just thinking of all the things that are going to come from this. Next week, we're going to be working on something called activism. But first, we have to just understand what diversity is and how it's important to our community. I look forward to seeing all of your projects. Thank you.